What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up Monero plus Tari mining in P2Pool, which means running your own nodes on both Monero as well as Tari, setting up P2Pool, and it will merge mine both coins at the same time at no extra power costs or anything to you and no loss of hash rate. But a thing you do have to keep in mind is, yes, Monero through P2Pool, you will be linked together between all the other P2Pool nodes out there, but with Tari, you are solo mining. So keep that in mind when doing this through P2Pool. It is strictly 100% solo, and you will not get rewarded unless you find the block. All right, so recently I did release a video on setting up Monero, your node, as well as P2Pool for that. So if you don't yet have those running and you need that set up, be sure to check out that video. This video is just taking it a step forward, and we're setting up P2Pool for Tari and our Tari node. So make sure you do check out that original video because you're going to need all that set up here, and then move forward to where we are right now, Tari. All right, so on the P2Pool website, the first thing you're going to need to do, remember, I'm not going to be showing you how to set this up. I already did, but you're going to need to download the latest version here of Monero CLI or GUI, whatever one you want. So click those. Download them. Your Monero node, you're going to have to download the latest one. Same thing here. This is the command to run inside of your list here. And if you do have less than, I guess, if 10 megabytes worth of bandwidth or something, you're going to want to use this for your peers, just like me. This is what I did. But all this stuff I went through when setting up your Monero node. So again, check out that video for all this. We're just kind of fast forwarding through all that. So now we're coming into P2Pool, and we got to start with getting our Tari stuff. So we're going to come into Tari right here. This is Tari.com. Scroll down all the way to the bottom, and then you'll see the download link right here. Click on that, and you're going to need to download two things. It should only be one, but because it's kind of half broken, you're actually going to have to set up two things. So the first one here is Windows zip file. We're going to hit Windows and then download for Windows right here. This will give you the latest hardware. You're also going to have to go down and go to the GitHub to get the exe file. So if I click on this and I open in a new tab, we come into here, we can see this is the latest version 11 hours ago. We're actually going to need to, I'm just going to come into Tari here and redo it and then come back into 3.0 because all the releases weren't there. So now we can see all the assets here, and we don't want where we're scrolling down. Here we go. Tari Suite. We want this right here. Come down to Windows. If you go down too far, remember, you're going to see archive. So this is like testnet stuff going on. So we're going to go above the archive. We want the Tari Suite. So here you're going to want the installer exe as well, because this is actually going to install all the Tor files and stuff it needs to run that. At this point, you're then going to extract the zip files that we have before. I don't know why they don't have the installer or any of the files for the Tors inside the normal zip, which is kind of weird for me. So you're going to have to install this installer and then go in and download this and extract this to wherever you want it. At this point, you can continue on to the next step, which is running your node. All right, so once you get that extracted and everything, you're going to want to make a bat file to start your node. In order to make a bat file, simply come into here, right click, go to new folder here, and I'm just going to call this one, actually not folder, we want a file. Why do I always do that? So we're going to come in, right click here, go to new, and we're going to make a text rich document, and I'm going to call this Tari node start video, just so I don't get it mixed up with mine. I'm going to click on that. I'm just going to take my node's parameters and just copy and paste it in here. So I'm going to right click, copy, and then we'll run through everything that means here. So here is my Tari node test video. I'm going to edit this, paste it all in. So here we can see Minotauri _node.exe. This is telling it the file to run in this case. And here we can see that file to run is this one right here, Minotauri node. That's that guy right there. And then our starting parameters is --grpc -enabled. That's enabling the grpc here. And then you can see --mining -enabled. And then this is if you want to put anywhere you want. So if you have it in a certain spot, like I have mine in a nodes folder, keep all my stuff together, you use this command -b space and then the drive, and parameters where you want it to save the blockchain. So this is optional. It will go to your C drive, and then if you have a small C drive, it'll fill it up, and then you'll run into errors later on. So I like to keep all my nodes on a larger drive and together, and this is just a way to tell what it is. But all you really need to get your bat file going and your node is this right here. So once you're done that, you're going to come in the file here. You're going to save it as, and then we're going to come down and go all files, and then you're going to want to put .bat file here. So now you can see Tari test node video .bat, all files, save it, and this will allow it to be an executable file at that point, not just a text document. So we're going to close that out. Now we can see it should be right here. So the first thing we got to do to start our node is run, this is in by default, the start_tor. So we need this to run first. It's going to do its bootstrapping and stuff, as you can see. So it's going through its thing here. Wait for it to do its thing. Sometimes it doesn't load. You might have to restart it. This was a major error that was going on with some of the mining pools, is the TORs were broken and some days they just wouldn't run. And that was, you know, some of the issues, because without this running, then the node won't run. So just wait a little bit, let it do its thing, and it should boot up to 100%. All right, so it is done. The background application kind of closed out there. You're going to have to keep this running, so just minimize it. It must stay running. And now you're going to run your Tari start node video, the bat that we just ran here. So we're going to run that, and that will kick in our node. And there you can see we're getting a bunch of stuff here. It's then going to start downloading the blockchain, syncing up. Then once that is complete, we're going to have to set up and sync our Monero node. So right now, if you're still syncing your Monero node, you can have it running. And then if you need to sync this up, have it running as well. So right now, your Monero node as well as your Tari node should be turned on. I'm just going to make sure mine is on. So I'm going to come back into here. I'm going to go into Monero here, come in, and then I'm just going to start my Monero node as well. So our Monero node is now syncing up as well. There we go. Synchronize is started. It should be synced up any second. I just recently synced it like half an hour ago, so it should be good. Yeah, there we go. So we're all fully in sync there. I just got to wait for our Tari node now to finish syncing up, and then once it's fully in sync, if I can find it here, there we go. Once it's fully in sync, then we just got to fire up our P2Pool with the command. So let's set up P2Pool now so it's ready for whenever our node is ready. All right, so here is P2Pool, and you're going to have to set up a bat file for this as well. You should know how to do that, seeing how we just did it. So now we're going to come into here and edit it, and here are the commands. So P2Pool.exe space, and then we have -- wallet, and this is our Monero wallet. Remember, no worker name or anything. This is what our node is going to be mining to, our wallet address right there, when it does find shares and stuff there. And then this is the command to enable Tari merge mining. So you can see right after your Monero wallet address is -- merge - mine space Tari : / 127.0.0.1 18102 is the port, and this is in there by default. You can see it in the README, which we'll look at also. But before, in the last version of P2Pool, it just said port. You actually have to find it by yourself, but now it is in there by default. And then right here, obviously, this is your Tari wallet address. Paste that in right there, and it'll begin merge mining Monero as well as Tari. So now just coming into the README itself for the Tari node, it has the parameters right here, so you can see it minus. This is a Linux command, so you're going to have to use Minotauri _node and then put .exe here, just like you've seen mine. But you can copy this right over for your bat file. And here you can see this is the commands for Tari merge mining. Again, all of this is in F2Pool's README file, but I showed you what it all was already. But here you can see P2Pool, your Monero wallet address, your merge mine Tari. So it says IP here. So put in the IP I told you. It's your local IP. This one right here. You can just copy it over, 127.0.0.1. And then again, it has the port in it by default. And then just put in your Tari wallet address. So in the README, you can just copy this line right over. But again, make sure P2Pool.exe, just like the Minotauri node.exe. / this is a Linux command to run it. So remember, we're doing this in Windows, so I just want to point that stuff out. But once you get those bat files and everything figured out, all you need to do is have your Monero node synced up. You need your Tari node synced up, and then you run P2Pool with those commands. So I'm just going to double check on my Tari node here to see if we are in sync. Looks like I believe we are. I was pretty much in sync anyway, so it didn't go through the percentages here. It was pretty quick, but it looks like we're good. So now I'm just going to fire up P2Pool. So I'm just going to double click on here. It's going to find everything together, and now it's going to do its quick boot up and sync process. Once this is done, we'll come back and I'll show you how you can check to make sure it's reading both sides of the chains. All right, so now to check to make sure your node and everything is working, we're going to type in status here in P2Pool, and we can see we have all the chain data here. So here's our hash rates and stuff for Monero, and down here we can see the Tari stuff. Where's your block reward? Now it just jumped on us. So block reward is 13,849. Current fees is at 0. The difficulty, the height, and this is our wallet address we started to, and obviously the host we started to. That's with your command stuff. So we have all the information we need here for Monero as well as Tari. We are merge mining both coins, and we're just gonna have a quick look at what it looks like if your node is not running or it's broken. All right, and you can confirm if your node is running right or anything by typing status into P2Pool here, and you can see right now with no node on, it has our wallet address and everything because we started with the parameters, but it has no block height, no rewards, no fees. It doesn't know what's going on that side of the chain because the node's not running. So if your node is running correctly, you would have this information here. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it. Hopefully it did help you get up and running for setting up your Monero as well as Tari node. Remember, all the information was available in the original Monero video. This one was just to add the Tari side to things. And then, you know, obviously you got to point your rigs and stuff to your node. All that information is available in the Monero video. So again, make sure you check out that video and then continue on with this one to set up your Tari node and P2Pool for reading both nodes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.